You know, Rob, when we were here a couple of weeks ago, you were dealing with the rear wheel and the drive and the axle and getting all that modified, and you really didn't want to look at what was happening up here.
Not too much.
But since I noticed this has now disappeared, our stock saddle and the stock fender tail section. This is also, by the way, a pretty heavy chunk.
Pretty meaty for sure.
And we're trying to lighten the bike, so you've had to deal, this has totally changed since we last saw you.
Exactly. What we're able to do is, as you said, that this was a very busy area. There's all your electronics, your battery, your voltage regulator, all the wiring is in this spot.
Right.
And it's an ugly spot, and it's didn't flow with what we've already created here so far. So what we're able to do is actually we just chop the rear frame section on that used to have the much shorter bolt shock on there, and now we're able to mount a much longer shock, which actually gives us more travel and more availability to be able to tune the suspension and different sizes of shocks and lengths and so on, so we can adjust the geometry. So that was just basically the stock piece flipped up, welded on, and voila, we have shock mounts. More R1 parts again. We have a lot of old R1 parts out the back, so this was a bent up piece we had out the back from my 2000s vintage R1.
Yep.
We chopped it up a little bit, used the original mounts there, just drilled the threaded portions out and welded some stubs on there. And we have our rear seat and tail section mount, which actually turned out very nicely. And it was, again, it was something I wasn't looking forward to.
Right, right.
But it turned out nice. So we have our R1 tail section now, which just fits on there because it's basically a stock piece. Bolts right in nicely, and the saddle, and our rear seat goes there, or our rear cowl, whatever we can find for it. Taillight, everything's done.
Wow, very trick. And it's like you said, you're continuing the flow, that
Exactly.
R1 fork, you're continuing that right through the bike.
Yep.
Very nice. Now, where are the foot pegs? We're not expected to put our feet here.
Yeah. These aren't going to work out.
No.
And this particular piece here is quite heavy, holds the side stand, safety switch, the shifter, and your foot peg, so it's a big bulky piece. So
yeah,
we've opted to, and we have to, move the foot pegs back and up just to give us some ground clearance and give us a proper riding position. So what we did is we took just a slug here, we made up, tapped the end of it, and we're able to weld it right to the frame, just below the swing arm pivot, which is a nice spot for it. And this time we've used some R6 pieces, which actually bolt on quite nicely. As you can see on the other side there.
Oh, you've got one mounted up?
Yeah.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah, so that worked out real well, and the seating position's right, the foot peg position's right. This was going to carry our master cylinder for our rear brake, the same on the other side. We have to modify it a bit to make the shifter work, but this is what we got rid of.
Whoa, oh my goodness, you're right. This is so heavy.
That's a big, bulky piece, and again, it's a cruiser, and it's a cruiser part, so that's, you know, you want to, the reason they're heavy is eliminate vibration, make them nice and comfortable, and you have to have all that. So
this originally bolted right here.
Exactly.
Will you do anything about these holes now in the frame?
Well, we're going to leave that right now because, again, we still have to have an exhaust system.
So Rob, there's about a week to go before the first consumer show in Calgary, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Getting a little tight.
Getting a little tight. And a few weeks ago, we dealt with this stock exhaust system, and you were taking that off. We commented just how heavy that is.
It's almost a two-man job, this one. Yeah.
That's like 25 pounds,
it's
maybe?
It's a heavy piece.
Okay, and then you were taking that off to Hindle Exhaust, Lang Hindle and his exhaust company. And what did you get to replace it?
Well, Lang and Scotty up there did a nice job for us. They came up with a substantially lighter piece, as you can see.
Holy smokes. That's crazy.
Out well.
That feels like a pound and a half.
It doesn't weigh much at all.
Yeah.
It fits real nice too. It's the design we were looking for as far as our style of motorcycle, and it's on and off in no time at all.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And you've been able to retain that O2 sensor.
Right, which it needs for the fuel injection. The bike won't run right without it. So.
Right. And the muffler?
And we've got, again, another nice light piece.
Another pound.
Exactly. And we've already built a little bracket that we've incorporated into our rear sets here to hold on to the muffler. And Scotty made the bracket mount line up with on the muffler exactly with our bracket. So we're done. 1 bolt, 2 springs, it's on.
So we've jettisoned 20 pounds or so.
At least, yeah.
And it looks great.
Yeah.
Very
It's
nice.
exactly what we wanted.
And I can't wait to hear it.
No, it should sound pretty good.
Have there been any other little tweaks that you've done? The brake lines,
Yeah,
that does not look stock.
We're going to use the genuine Yamaha brake lines for the aftermarket parts, but they were, with our cafe setup, we had to make our own. So we built these and they turned out nice, and that's full MotoGP style. So
Braided.
yep, stainless braided lines coated. So
And you made those here?
yes, we do everything. We do all that kind of stuff right in house. So
Wow. Very nice. Well, 7 days and counting.
yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape now. I was a little scared before, but now I feel better.
Okay, all you need now is the body work back from the shop.
Exactly.
Well, Rob, with 72 hours to the first consumer show, you've done it.
It's all in one piece.
Yeah, very nice. This looks great.
It turned out pretty nice, and the nice part is that everything functions. Like the shocks work, the front end works, the engine might even work.
Right. And the paint job is
They did an
stunning.
amazing job. That was my buddy Ron at Alliance. They 8 coats of paint on that, believe it or not, to make everything match, because all the pieces were different colors, so it took a lot of paint.
Right.
And the fellas from Unique Mobile Media came in and did the Yamaha Molly stripe on this, and they did a fantastic job. It looks great.
So who came up with the idea of doing the old Kenny Roberts tribute?
Well, it was there's a lot of it happening in with MotoGP and that, and you see Kenny there with one of some of his old bikes, and they're still out there, and it's this one kind of seemed the right fit, so
Right. So have you fired it up yet?
we're about to.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, can't
Cross
wait.
your fingers. Here we go. All right. Sounds fast.
Very nice. So what was the most challenging part of this project for you?
I had a lot of good helpers, and the biggest job was the front end, to give it the 5-inch extension and to still have it function, to have all the dampening work properly, all the dampening rods fit in properly, and it came out spot on.
Is there one little piece of the puzzle that you're most proud of?
The front end's nice. The job Paul did on the rear swing arm brace with the little spacer where you get the belt in and out like that, just those kind of things you just don't see every day, and it's something that that type of thing we're proud of doing, because it's unique and it's something you just don't see all the time. So.
Right. So this is now heading out to the first motorcycle consumer show of the year. I'm sure there'll be a lot of comments, a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
Would you want to do another one of these for a customer if they came up with a blank checkbook?
Well, it'd have to be a pretty fat blank checkbook for sure, because it was a lot of work, and a lot of work in a short time. So we had a bunch of people working on this, Paul and Brian and Andy and the guys and John. Everybody worked a lot of hours on this, and sourcing parts and bits and pieces and finding all the right stuff.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like as much as it was now, but it's a nice finished product. It's clean. I'm really happy with it.
Well done, Rob.
Thank you.
Congratulations. It looks awesome. Nice. The lightning bolt. Well, after nearly 3 months and some 200 hours, Lightning Bolt is finally done.